Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I'm creating this video because I want to remind you guys of two major events that are happening next week. And all eyes will be on these two events. So what are they? Let me tell you. Now, the first major event has to be the FOMC meeting, which will start on Tuesday and end on Wednesday. And once it ends, of course, Fed Chair Powell will have another press conference, which I will be streaming. And during that press conference, Powell will announce how much he will raise the Fed fund rate by. Now, we know that the U.S. has been dealing with inflation along with all these other countries, right? But this last CPI report that we received in the U.S. not too long ago was showing that inflation was still growing, has not tapered, has not really slowed down. And that's what drove markets down majorly for the past week or so. Now, many people are guessing what Powell is going to announce. For most part, 82% right now is predicting that Powell will raise the fund rate by about 75 basis points, which is 0.75%. That will bring the total fund rate to about 3%. That's what's anticipated. Now, there's an off chance, there's 18% chance that he may be raising the fund rate by 100 basis points, which means a full percentage. It doesn't sound like a lot. It seems like 0.25 shouldn't affect all that much, but it does. So we will see on Wednesday what comes out, because I do think if somehow Powell and the rest of the board governors, if they want to become really, really hawkish and really kind of front load the remainder of the rates, and they go with 100 basis points, that's going to be horrible, absolutely horrible for markets. But if it comes in line with expectations, which is 75 basis points, I think the market will just shrug it off. I don't see any chance of something smaller like 50 basis points, and that's because the CPI data was bad. If the CPI data was good, then there is an off chance that he may be more dovish, or they will be more dovish, but right now doesn't seem like it. Okay, so that is number one, the biggest thing we have to look forward to this week. Now, in case you don't understand why we're in this situation, why Powell has to raise rates to kind of drown out or curb demand and try to bring inflation down, well, you know what? I saw this from Robert Kiyosaki, and he kind of explains it really easily. Really easy to understand. Number one, U.S. borrows too much money. Okay, that's why the U.S. has a lot of debt. U.S. keeps interest rates low. Yeah, we were at basically 0%. That fund rate was basically at 0% for many, many years. Then the low interest rates forces U.S. to borrow more money to buy bonds, which is true. And why do they do this? Well, to keep interest rates low. Okay, and because they're borrowing and printing more, guess what that's doing? Number 5, causes inflation, all right? And because of inflation, right, interest rates are now going up. Not only the Fed fund rate, but mortgages, you know, their 30-year rates are above 6%, right? All interest rates are going up. Now the debt is becoming too expensive. And the debt keeps piling on, trillions upon trillions upon trillions. So according to Robert, the U.S. dollar is dying, and that's why you want to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Well, I disagree with the gold and silver part, but I definitely agree with the Bitcoin part. I mean, honestly, this is what's happening. This is the reason why we are in the situation we are in, right? But here's the thing. Even with the U.S. dollar dying overall, the U.S. dollar is still very strong versus other currencies. Other countries have done the same thing. Other countries have worse inflation, and their economies are just not as good as the U.S. economy. So even though the U.S. dollar is dying is dying slower than some of the other fiat currencies around the world, like the euro and the British pound, the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, and the list goes on and on and on. So I do agree with this, but unfortunately, because other currencies are weaker than the dollar, that's why the DXY continues to go up. And usually, when the DXY goes up, it's not good. Not good for Bitcoin and the rest of the markets out there. Now, speaking of Bitcoin is hovering around 19.7 over this weekend. It was above 20,000, kind of holding there. Now it's down to 19.7. Overall, it's about flat. But unfortunately, Ethereum continues to dump. This last 7 days, this last week, Ethereum has dumped about 21%. So unfortunately, that buy the rumor, sell the news is still happening, although I do think a lot of it is due to whale manipulation. I've shown you guys how much ETH is deposited, or was deposited, and still being deposited into Bitfinex, into a derivative exchange, and I do think there is a lot of manipulation going on. But regardless, it's working, causing a lot of fear. So Ethereum is actually selling off way more right now than Bitcoin. Ethereum's dominance was above 20%, and now it's only 17.8%. So that's the unfortunate thing, but I still believe in Ethereum. I think most of you guys know that, and most of you guys are bullish on Ethereum also, because right now it's pretty much deflationary. After proof of stake, after moving the proof of stake, the issuance has decreased by 90%. The burn rate is still high, pretty much becomes deflationary. So overall, that's a great thing for price appreciation. And plus, they're not done. This allows them to scale a little bit better, but it also allows the team to work on a full scaling solution, which was impossible before. So overall, I think Ethereum will be fine long term. Short term, a lot of selling, but that just means you could pick up more for cheap. Now, going back to Bitcoin, still a couple of encouraging things. For example, number of addresses with non-zero balances, meaning addresses that hold something, right, continue to go up, pretty much forming all-time high every single week. So not only are the holders strong, but just the number of new people coming into the space is still growing, right? A lot of the people, retail people that kind of came in to make a quick buck, they all left, right? So the people that are coming in now are the ones that really want something better, want to get away from what robbers said, right? And that is why the addresses continue to go up. This overall is fantastic. And the miners continue to mine. Miners are not going away. So you look at the hash rate, it just keeps going up, and we're at an all-time high too. So the network is still very, very strong. All right, the second big thing that's happening this week that's being overlooked is this. We just had a big merge happen with Ethereum. Guess what else is happening? We have the Cardano Vasil hard fork, which Charles confirmed is underway and will be done September 22nd. So that's in 4 days. This is right after the first event, right? So this is right after FOMC meeting and announcement. So this will be right afterwards. So timing of it, I don't know if it's good or bad, but we've known this for a couple weeks that Vasil is coming. And what does Vasil mean for Cardano? Well, there's quite a lot that's stated in here, but to summarize, basically Vasil makes Cardano more scalable, easier to program, also more secure, right? So overall, this is a big upgrade for Cardano. You could argue as big as the merge is for Ethereum, right? And this could really bring on more dApps and allow more usability and more scaling with those dApps afterwards, right? So this is coming on the 22nd. So this is the second big thing that we have to look forward to. Now, do I expect Cardano to go through the same kind of thing, buy the rumor, sell the news? Well, right now, it doesn't seem like Cardano is really moving, so there's no buy the rumor. So we could have something where it's buy the news afterwards, but I think it's really dependent on the first thing I talked about, which is what the fund rate hike will be. If it's in line with expectations, 75 basis points, then I think markets can react positively afterwards, and we could see crypto go up with it. But right now, we don't know. I think this alone probably will not move Cardano in either direction in any major way, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it for this video. No live stream today. Just want to give you guys a quick update on two big things happening this week. So strap on, get ready, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.